got a cyclist in your life, friend, family member, colleague, or maybe you're a cyclist yourself and you're looking for some cheeky gift ideas that also won't break the bank, then this is the video for you. I've got one gift idea I'm going to share at the end that I think everyone should have, but I sincerely hope they never need. So before we go ahead and dive into the video, let's go over a few things what not to get a cyclist as a gift. And we'll kick off with clothes. With cycling, there's a lot of brand loyalty. You'll tend to find a brand that works really well for you. And the sizing can be an absolute nightmare. With one brand, you can be like a size M, and with another, you can be a 3XL. And let's be candid here, some of the stuff is so expensive, you don't really want to get the wrong item, maybe a brand they don't normally wear, and also shell out that amount of cash for it. The next thing on my list is probably an odd one, but it's lights. And I've seen this recommended a few times as gifts to get, and for most cyclists I know they already have lights, and this is something most non-cyclists aren't aware of, but I just wanted to show you that sometimes a lot of lights won't fit onto people's bikes. And so they're a great gift idea, but if you can see this is the adapter to get it to fit on the bike I ride. So a standard light from like Decathlon may not fit around the seat post where I'd connected at the back. So although it's a lovely gift idea, it may not be possible to use. And the final one, and this is a bit mixed, is gels and sort of nutrition products and things. There's a lot of bundles out there which are really good. And the reason I say be careful is, again, a bit like clothing, there's brand loyalty. You kind of know what works for you. And if you get this wrong and you get a bad gel, or it's a brand you haven't used before, you might be seeing breakfast again, or it might be coming out the other end, or perhaps even worse, it could be coming out of both ends. So you want to be really careful about what you buy and what you use. Let's jump into it. The first gift idea, and that is what's called a cafe lock. Now these are small, lightweight locks that you can use quite literally when you go to a cafe, when you're out and about and riding, and they're just really, really good to have. This one is by a brand called Hiplock, and these go for anywhere between 15 to 25 pounds, depending where you find them. You can get some which have a key mechanism, and this is one that has a number dial on it. I've got these as gifts for cyclists in my family. They've absolutely loved them, all used them. I think they're fantastic, and it's going to go down an absolute treat. You can find lots of variations on this, so if you are looking on Amazon for a friend, family member, Secret Santa, birthday gift, look up the word cafe lock. My next gift idea is tools. In particular, Allen keys, hex keys. You can get these really cheap, especially on the likes of AliExpress. I think you can get tools down there for like less than £1. This one in particular is just a set of Allen keys, and I think this cost me less than £5. Even if a cyclist already has a lot of these items and a load of tools, I cannot tell you how useful these are. Also makes a great stocking filler. This one in particular is a Vel multi-tool. I think I got this from Sigma Sports. Amazon have got a ton of these as well. They're a little bit different. If you look up bike multi-tool, the price just seems to go up. Whereas these are just like hex keys or Allen keys, as we might call it in the UK. And you can get those really cheap. There's a really good set as well that are like these multicolored ones. And I use those all the time. I think they're really useful. There's another really good one. If you want to push the boat out a little bit more, it's around 10 to 12 pounds, and they're by Park Tool. But yeah, you cannot go wrong with this. It's a fantastic gift. And like I say, if they already own one, they will probably need a second, and they will find a use for the other one. So yeah, you cannot go wrong with this gift. Now this next one is really useful if they train indoors, and the fact, given that it's winter right now when I'm filming this is going to go down an absolute treat. This is a phone mount, but not any ordinary phone mount. This one goes into your Garmin mount or computer mount on the front of your bike. So if you're training indoors, now you can really easily take out your bike computer, put this on instead. It just twists in place, and you can use your phone and just have it in the perfect location. I swear by this, and I think this cost me just under £20. It's a little bit steep, it might seem, but this is honestly one of the best things I've purchased. I use it every time I train indoors. Okay, this next one is a little bit specific, but honestly, if you get this, they are going to be so shocked that you even know about this the wow factor is going to blow them away, and that is a disc brake alignment tool. I'm going to include a link to this very specific one I have in my hand because there's a few variations. I believe this one cost me under £10. So a quick note on this, if you are a cyclist, you'll know this is for disc brakes, but if you're not a cyclist, I want to make sure you get this right. So if their bikes don't have these round discs on it, then unfortunately this tool won't be for them. But if their bike does have disc brakes, which are the round discs by the side of their wheel, this will work for them. What it does is it opens up and you put these thin metal blades over the rotors and you can align the brake caliper perfectly centered to the rotor. Why is this such a good gift? You've actually got two more uses with this tool, which I'm going to cover in a second. But one of the big problems with disc brakes and the bane of cyclists' lives, and probably one of the biggest reasons bike shops are still in business because so many people have to keep going to them, is their bikes can make all sorts of weird noises, especially with disc brakes. You get things like rotor rub, you have to swap the pads out. There's a lot of maintenance, and with a simple tool like this, you can do a lot of it at home. So if you travel a lot as well with disc brakes, this is amazing. I would have loved to have had this tool when I went to Mallorca because I had to take my caliper off, put it back on, and this tool would have saved me an hour plus of time. And possibly, if you weren't that familiar with fixing bikes, you'd have probably had to have taken it to a shop, whereas this less than £10 tool would have fixed it. So what else can it do? We can actually use it as a bleed block. So if they need to change the fluid in their brake lines, you can take out the pads, put this inside. You can now use it as a bleed block. I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's also a wedge on here. And what you can do is separate the pads as well. So one of those really annoying things a lot of cyclists might complain about is like a ticking noise from their brakes. And it's sometimes caused by like one of the pads pushing against it. So with this, just push it in, separate the pads. It's genius. Honestly, it's one of those gifts that they won't expect. If they're into bikes, especially fixing their own bikes as well, this is an absolute must. Again, I think it's a brilliant little tool to have. Okay, another really cool one, and I absolutely love these, is phone pouches. This is a muck-off one I got from Amazon. These honestly vary from all sorts of different prices. I just happened to pick up this one. They're fantastic. You can fit your phone in here, and that could be like a standard size iPhone, the Pro Max iPhones, which is fantastic. They're water resistant, which means they're also sweat resistant. They're a small gift. They don't cost much. But if you see the cyclist in your life and they're going around, they're putting their phone in a sandwich bag, or they've got something else they're trying to use for it, these are just really handy. But yeah, for a low price, I think these are a fantastic little item to get. They're really useful. And again, if it's like Secret Santa, you can put some other little bits in here. They're just really, really useful to have. You can't go wrong with this. This next item I've got is arguably the most expensive one on the list. And considering how I've seen a lot of influencers out here at the moment telling everyone to buy a Garmin Varia, this one is probably going to be a lot lower in that budget range. Now, this is an electric mini pump. These are all the rage at the moment. They've got a little screen on there, and what these are is literally a tiny little pump that will inflate your bike tires. These are amazing. One of my first videos on YouTube was actually about mini pumps, and this is one I've picked up. It cost me roughly £35 from AliExpress. This is the Cyclami, I think is how you pronounce it, brand. I've used this. I've taken it to Mallorca with me, so it's battle tested. Everything I'm recommending, I've used myself, and I really love this little electric pump. For £35, like I say, it is the most expensive item on my list, but saying that, in comparison, it's actually quite cheap compared to some of the other ones. Like the Cyclists one I did for my first review, I believe was over £100, or at least the newer ones now are over £100. A lot of the new name brand ones kind of starting at sort of 80 and they go up to over 100, £120. So at £35, this is an absolute steal. Every bit of cycling media out there is just ranting and raving about these electric mini pumps. They're like the new latest and greatest thing. So for £35, absolute steal. They will absolutely love this. Now, these last few bits I think are really good for Secret Santa or maybe the book lover in your life. So one of my first ones is actually the top 100 climbs. I happen to have the Spain one here. My partner, bless her, lovingly got me the UK ones as well. They're really good to go through, and it's kind of nice to see what's around you as well, like local climbs in the UK. If you live in Spain, for example, there's one for France and Italy, and I think there's quite a few out there as well. So these are really, really cool to go through, really nice to see. And an extra bonus item to pair it up with is there's actually a scratch-off map. I'm not sure if it's from the official people from this book, but there's a lot of them out there. I'm trying to work my way through it as well, and it's actually been quite a good excuse going through these books as well to pick places to go and climbs to tick off. The next item I've got as well is another book, and this one was actually a bit of a game changer, a late entry to the list, because I finished it recently, and my word, if you've got something like Secret Santa or just anyone who's into cycling, whether they're like a really fit young professional or maybe in their golden years and they just love going out on the bike, this book has been amazing. It is called The Secret Cyclist, and it's one of those rare ones that I wasn't really able to put it down. It was really interesting to read. So we see a lot of stuff on the news about the pro cyclists, and it looks like they have this really glamorous life. And it's actually a bit of an expose of what it's actually like behind the scenes. And there's some stuff in there, and I don't want to get too much into it and spoil it for anyone here. The bit that really opened up my eye was about the doping and how it's still going on and how people are getting around it. It was just like, I was shocked this hasn't been talked about more. It was honestly an eye-opener, solid recommendation. I'd probably say for any cyclist out there, it is worth a read and they will enjoy it. Okay, we're coming up to the final item shortly, and this is another favorite of mine. This is the travel bag by Decathlon. Now, why this is fantastic. If you're someone like me who loves doing lots of events, especially in the UK, one of the biggest fears I have is forgetting my shoes, okay? Honest story, I was gonna go out for a ride with my brother and I somehow packed everything except my shoes. Every time I now travel, I am always worried about forgetting my shoes. And you might be saying, so what does this bag have to do with it? Look at the size of this bag. It's folded up. It then folds out into this massive bag and has this special compartment just for your shoes. You can put them in there. The only slight caveat I found is they're going at a slight angle, but they fit in here perfectly. The fact I know my shoes are in this end is fantastic. The bag itself, I can fit everything I need in here. And are you ready for the best part about this, okay? I cannot hype this bag up enough. Are you ready for the price? Just have a guess right now how much you think this bag costs. I imagine in the comments, or you saying aloud, £25. You're wrong. You might be saying £35. You're absolutely wrong. You might go, okay, $19.99. Still wrong. This bag is $9.99. That's right, £9.99 from Decathlon. Like, you cannot go wrong with this. If you know they love doing events, they love traveling around with their bike, they're signing up for stuff, or maybe they've talked about an event they're planning to do, again, you cannot go wrong with this. Really solid bag. I honestly can't hype this up enough. Okay, and now onto the final item. And like I said at the start, we're gonna get onto a bit of a serious note here. This is a gift I think everyone should have, but I sincerely hope, and I genuinely say this, I sincerely hope you never need to use it. And that is a Road ID bracelet. The best way of thinking about this is a bit like a life alert bracelet, I think they call it in America, but this is for everyone. This is whether you're running, cycling, just life in general. I think these are an essential to have. I can't remember the exact statistic, but I believe it's around 7 out of 10 cycling fatalities happen on UK country roads. Unfortunately, where I live, that is the majority of roads for me. And something that is going to get a little bit dark here is the thought that I could quite easily go out, get hit by a vehicle, and they can very easily drive off. Now, if I'm stuck in the side of the road in a ditch, unconscious, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, but I have my driver's license on me. Now, if I've got that in my back pocket and I'm on my back, that means they have to turn me over. It's very dangerous. That can increase the risk of paralysis. Now, if you've seen any of my cycling videos, you may have noticed me wearing this in the videos as well. You'll usually see it on my right wrist. I've gone for a bright color as well. I like this one. It's got a cool little pattern on it. And I've put a sticker over this because I don't really want to reveal all my information on here, but I can have my important details, and they do guide you through this of like what to put on there. So I have my name, my birth year, I have 2 contact numbers. You can pay a little bit extra and get some more space on here as well, so you can go for a bigger size. You can completely customize this to what you want. I also put down any medication I'm on as well. Now this is something that's quite important as well. If you have any allergies to certain antibiotics or things like that, or you might be on some sort of blood thinner or medication that you need to disclose. I just realized that, like I say, if we paint that picture unconscious in a ditch in a country lane, whilst I could have my ID in my back pocket, or it could be in my phone pouch, this is on my wrist. A paramedic can really easily grab this, have a look, they'll know my name, my age, and they'll have some contact numbers. So if I do end up in the hospital, they can contact my next of kin. And it's a little bit somber when you think about this. And like I say, I hope that you never need to use this. I say that genuinely. I'm always getting a bit emotional here saying this, but I genuinely hope you never need to use this. My girlfriend says to me every time she worries when I go outside. And whilst I try and take every precaution I can, I personally feel a lot safer knowing I have this on me. It's not going to help. All it takes is one distracted driver, one text message, one phone call, and it's sort of game over for me. But with this, at least I know that when the paramedics arrive, they can contact her and let her know the situation. It does sound a lot more grim and somber, and apologies if it's taken a little bit of a dark turn here, but I feel like everyone should have one of these. I just feel like the excuse for not wearing one is just not worth it. And I believe when I purchased these, it's cost around, I think it's something like $25 to $35. These are made in the US and they ship internationally. So I'll include a link to it as well. You can get different sizes. If they do a slightly smaller one, you can get different size bracelets, different colors. They often have lots of promos. You can get different style bands and things. My personal top tip is I try to go for something very contrasting. I've gone for white because typically a lot of the gear I wear, especially in the summer, is like black UV armbands. My only regret, and something I would say to Road ID, is why they don't have like a bright neon pink. That would be like absolutely perfect. But like I say, this is definitely one for a close family member. What I might suggest, if you don't know all their details, or you know, it's more for like a friend or something, I believe they do gift cards as well. So it might be worth saying, look, I love you as a friend. I want to make sure you're safe out there. Here's the gift card. Please get one of these and please put your details in, because it sounds a little silly, but if you're ever worried about the cyclist in your life, the fact you could have your phone number on there, God forbid it ever goes off and it's someone calling from the hospital. I just think these are really useful and I won't ride without it. So this is taking a little bit of a different turn at the end here, but I really thought this was worth talking about. So thank you for watching this video. I hope these gifts are useful. I hope there might be some good gift inspiration there. And because it's a channel for cyclists, I'm going to open up the floor here. If there's any suggestions or any ideas from the fellow cyclists in the audience here, if there's anything you think I've missed or anything else you think we should recommend, please let us know in the comments below. And if you did get something for your friends and family, did they like it? Please let me know. I'd love to hear. So with that, we're going to wrap up the video now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And if you are watching this around Christmas time, I hope you have a very happy New Year.